Good evening, Canada. We are back with our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host, Ghada Hamdani. We have a very dynamic lady who is well known. She's not a new face. She is Menakshie Sethii. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Aspi.
Hi, welcome, Menakshie.
Thank you so much.
Menakshie, let's just start. Tell us a little bit about your profession.
Well, Aspi has known me for a long time, and
Over a decade.
I know.
Or rather 1.5 decade.
I know. I've been a nurse for 22 plus years.
Wow.
And I did my nursing here in Canada. And I've been serving the community hospital, this country, from last 23 years plus.
Wow. Can't
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
you are doing such a humanitarian job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're in a senior position right now.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more.
When you get to this position, it's like you have crossed all those bumps and have come to this level where you actually get to know a lot about inside, other than just the nursing, about the community, about the hospitals here, about how the system works, basically. So with all my expertise and all my time that's been spent in nursing, I have learned a lot, which they definitely don't teach you in school.
Okay, how long you've been doing that?
I've been
22 years, you said.
23 years.
23 years.
Okay,
Wow.
and senior position?
Yes.
Okay, Menakshie, inform our viewers and us that why there is always a shortage of nurses and what difficulties our nurses are facing here in Canada.
Well, the main reason of shortage of nurses in Canada is because most of the nurses move to United States. And United States definitely gives you better packages as a worker and better wages. That was the main basic reason. Secondly, of course, the climate. Most of the nurses either move to all these warmer places, Florida, California, Texas, Arizona. So that was the main reason, but of course the wages. Because we are under OHIP, under Health Ministry, we have this bracket that nurses just get paid up to that, even though there is a lot of competition within the hospitals too, but they cannot jump more than they are allowed to because we are under the unionization. So that restricts a lot to give when it's come to the wages. So main reason of nurses,
shortage of
nurses is because they are moving out of Canada.
So basically they are coming here because, now they are encouraging nurses to come in and, they make it easier for them to immigrate.
Right.
So they come and then...
Yeah, they come, they become this, they get their citizenship, they earn some experience, Canadian experience, then they get hired by the other, cities in
countries.
US. Yeah. Yeah.
Menakshie, as I have seen you socially also and politically also, we have done quite a lot of politics together.
Yes.
Plus, we were judge at one of the local pageants in Markham.
Yes.
You recall that or don't remember?
Actually, just recently it showed up on my Facebook. It's so ironic that it just showed it.
And it's a very, very long
week.
time ago.
I know.
Okay, we did judge. We did lots of things. And believe me, this year, I did miss you at the annual Chinese New Year's dinner.
Thank you.
So God willing, next year, we'll definitely have you in our group.
Yes.
So you're involved in some humanitarian, I heard from our host, Asphandiar. So would you tell us about that?
So I have been involved with the Canadian Blood Society. I have done a lot of camps for them. I have encouraged my community people, just regular Canadians, to come and donate blood, as we are so much always in need of blood.
I recall that one of your, in Markham, which you did, you had lots of guests.
It was one of them. I have done many. And I'm planning to get back to it just because I got busy with my work and a lot of, I've been moving around a lot from country to country, so I've got busy, but I'm planning to start it again.
Lovely. Yeah. Menakshie, if you see from your social side, you even organize some ghazal shows and musical shows, and we had lots of good time. I still miss those days.
I know. As I said, I'm back, and I will be starting those cultural shows and something for the community to help bring the community together.
Okay, we're back to your profession. So from your experience, what the nurses faces here, what are the issues?
The main
Okay.
issue is that because of the shortage of nurses, we are overwhelmed. We are working a lot of hours. And it's actually, very overwhelming for any individual because we've been expected to work 12-hour shift. Sometimes we have to work 50 to 60 hours in a week because
Wow.
we are so much short.
Short of nurses.
And if we say no, then we like, okay, to become a nurse, you have to be very empathetic. And you being empathetic is so hard to refuse working because you're actually jeopardizing the patients. Because when you especially know, because you get attached to patients. So with my own experience, when I was working for community, I was so attached to my patients of seeing them every day. Either they were a cancer patient or with some other disabilities. It was so hard to just say, no, I can't come because I want a day off. So you end up going because most of the nurses are empathetic, and the compassion is
Compassion is the vital for the nurses.
It comes with our profession.
Within the nurse.
If you're not compassionate, you can't be good with what you do. So the main thing which is overwhelming for nurses here is overtime, and it's too much. It's brutal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, there are here, Menakshie. You're professionally registered by healthcare organization like Bayshore Healthcare, Elizabeth Healthcare.
You have worked
So-
in so many reputable
Yes.
organizations.
Yeah.
You're also
worked-
because 23 years time definitely you will be associated.
I was working for many home care because I've been
Well-known home care
I've been
organizations.
into a lot of community nursing, which is home care nursing. I've been hired by many different agencies, but overall, I'm a registered practical nurse, and I am actually responsible and accountable to serve within Ontario with any agency and with any work. So my accountability doesn't just end with just particular one company or organization. I, as a nurse, when I'm giving my service to any patient, regardless, I can be just self-employed, giving the the service. I am accountable and I am responsible
Definitely,
for
very responsible.
my scope of practice.
Okay, Menakshie, now from the next 5 years, where do you see what you plan to do? Something big?
Yes, I'm actually getting myself into hiring more nurses, getting into the self-employment where I can serve the different places where the shortage of nurses,
Nurses
hire
are there,
nurses,
yeah.
bring them here if it's needed, and I will be doing the employment.
You'll be getting the nurses
it's more
from
like
other
a nursing
country?
employment agency.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
that's
And
what
from which countries you would be bringing the nurses?
there's no particular country. Whoever will be coming to the standards of Canadian College of Nurses, I will be accepting the application. It has no bars or
Especially
race.
from India and Philippines.
Yes,
Lots of health care workers
Well,
are
there are
coming.
a lot of Filipino, Indian, and even a lot of nowadays Russians.
Russian, yeah.
Yes,
Health workers
coming.
are coming, yeah.
Yeah, so it's there's no particular culture or race. I would be accepting whoever will be.
Whoever is qualified and capable to work as a nurse.
Absolutely.
Okay, during pandemic, so it was the hardest time actually for everyone, but especially for you nurses. So what can you tell us about that time?
Pandemic was really, really hard because to begin with, it was we had to dress up as like a robot. We were covered from head to toe.
Yeah, correct.
Everything was covered, and once you go to in one patient room, you're not allowed to go to another patient room because of this, spreading the infection. But with God's grace, we are over with it, and it was a very, very difficult time, not just for Canadians, for the whole world. And salute to all the nurses and healthcare providers who were there, putting their life in jeopardy and had a family at home. And I actually compromised with my mother at that time. Her immune system was really low. Her immunity was low because she was, struggling with cancer.
She was staying with you.
Yeah, and she had a cancer. But you gotta go out and do what you gotta do, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But still you managed those hard days also.
Not just me, many nurses, many healthcare providers did.
Because
Yeah.
they were the worst to be
Yeah.
affected with this
Yeah.
virus.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's the difference between, it's like you mentioned different type of nursing and certified and professionally. So registered nurse. So
She's a
tell
practical
us,
nurse.
yeah, so tell us, tell the viewers, it's like how to get involved and how do you get.
It's how can I give an example? It's just
Yeah.
like physician and physician assistant.
Assistant.
yeah.
So registered nurse and registered practical nurse. We have our own scope of practice
Okay.
where we are allowed in our scope of practice, or we've been trained to perform under that scope of practice. Registered nurses has given a different scope of practice beyond our reach, because it all depends on the education you've been out there and done it. So there's not much difference, to be honest, but they have made it, College of Nurses made it easier for a lot of people who are eligible to go beyond that scope of practice, or you want to stay in that scope of practice. It's all about how much you want to go beyond it, or you want to stay there. It's not big difference.
Okay, Menakshie, inform us and our viewers, what is the duration to become a nurse? And what qualification that girl or the lady should have to start the profession of nursing?
For nursing, if you are a foreign nurse, then definitely you need to go to College of Nurses to get your evaluation done. Once you have the evaluation, they will tell you the credits that you are not having enough, and then you can go to your community college and get that.
So what is the minimum qualification the person can go to the college?
If you are from Canada and you have done, it's a high school.
High school.
And then you have to do some of the prerequisition exam or test. Once you do that, you can get yourself into the program.
Enrolled in the program.
Yeah. So for registered practical nurse is 2 years. For registered nurse is 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a bachelor's
long
degree
period.
now. Yeah.
Long period.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I heard that you have lots of awards and achievements. Would you mention some of them, please?
You know what? I actually achieved a lot of awards in my profession. I've been given some from my organization. Sometimes it was given just by the patient itself, that where they have given me beautiful cards and showered me with their gifts and the appreciation. So in this life journey of being a nurse, it's like they are a little bit of very incentives, but at the same time, you just enjoy being a nurse and carry on with that profession. So I never considered these awards as a big achievement, as much as how much I feel good when I make my patient happy and stable. That's a big achievement for me.
But Menakshie, I even recall that you were given so many citations from members of the federal and provincial government also. As well.
Right.
So you recall that?
Yes.
And do you still hold those citations or no?
Yes, I do. Of course.
Well, you did pageant as well and women empowerment, I heard.
Yes.
So, but you stopped doing that, or you're still?
As I said, I was not in the country. I was traveling a lot. I was in and out of Canada, and just to
And then the pandemic of over nearly 3 years.
Just to continue with that, you gotta be there permanently to have more focused, And I didn't want to start something that if I were, and then in the mean all of this, my mother was really sick, so I was taking care of my mother.
And she passed off.
Yeah, so I was taking care of her. So I was busy with my own person, but I'm back, and we're going to be starting.
We are going to be back with a bang.
That's good. That's good.
So would you like to give any final message to our viewers, what they should do, how they should conduct their lives in Canada, and what all they should do?
Well, pretty much everybody know that. First of all, thank you so much, both of you.
It was a pleasure, but
me,
we couldn't have you a full interview. The reason is the shortage, paucity of time.
Yes, that's okay. I'll come back again. But I just want to tell that Canada is a beautiful country, and we are blessed to be in this country. And continue what you're doing. Hard work always pays you off.
With that note from our guest speaker, we'll soon be signing off. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla. My co-host, Ghada Hamdani, and our lovely Menakshie is here. Though her interview is very short this time, but we fully assure our viewers we'll invite her again and have a lengthy talk with her.
Thank you.
So with that, we would say good night, goodbye. God bless Canada. God save the King.